All right. Hello, Ceely Ann. How's it going this morning?
Good. How are you, Darlene?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you
Good.
so much for asking.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ceely Ann, I would love for us to jump right into this interview. If you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your professional experience.
Well, as you see from my resume, I have been working most recently at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University here in Daytona.
Mhm.
I started there. My husband and I moved out here due to COVID. He got laid off from his position. We lived in Colorado. So we had a condo. We were thinking that we would do, which a lot of people do out here, 6 months in Colorado, 6 months in Florida. And so we had already purchased a condo out here. So it was a natural move to move out here, sell our house in Colorado. And we did that. Took a while due to COVID to actually get hired at Embry-Riddle, but I've been there ever since August of 21. And I started as an admin for the vice president of research and doctoral programs. Actually, at that point, it was just a VP of research. And I did that from August through about April, and sometime in late January, early February, there was a research project that was going to be renewed. We wanted to get renewed out in Prescott, Arizona, which is where we have our other campus.
Okay.
And the person who was the director for that program, as well as the assistant director, were both not going to be available anymore to run the summer program that needed to be run in order to have us being able to renew the grant. So my boss asked if anybody would be interested to go out and run that program. And basically, it's a program where we take low income, but high progressing, high processing high school students from 5 different high schools in the area. And we give them like college classes, and we teach them what it's like to be in college and that kind of a thing. They're all honor students. So I said, ooh, I'd be interested in doing that. So from April of 22 to, I think I got back here at the end of July, I went out and I was the director of that program, and I ran all of these students and teachers and everything else on the Prescott campus to go to school for 8 weeks. So if you can imagine, these honor students love school so much that after their high school year was over, they came and for 8 weeks sat in a classroom from 8 to 5, learning everything. So it was fun. It was fabulous. I loved it. And then when I got back here, I started my role again while I was gone, the VP of research moved on to a different school. And so when I got back, we hadn't hired a new VP of research and doctoral programs yet. So I was there for a little bit with just another coworker who we kind of ran the department ourselves together. It was a very small department. And then that was for about a month. So in September, they hired Jeremy Ernst, who was a new VP. And I worked for him from September through May 30th, but of the following year. But at the same time, around April, I was reached out to by the Office of the President to see if I would come and fulfill an administrative role there. So that's what I was doing for the last almost the whole period that I was there. My old boss left after a certain period of time, and I ran the office myself as the senior administrative assistant she left beginning of February. So from February through the end of May, I was the one who was in charge of the president's office. I had some people underneath me. We had a team of 4. So, but we did that. And then the new person and there was a conflict of interest. And I felt like it was better for her to be able to pick the person second in command who she really wanted to work with. So I stepped out of that role and I got a new role at Embry-Riddle. and had been working in gift processing and as an analyst since then for philanthropy. And they, during a probationary period, they decided that, because I don't know if it's because I had never done that role before or I had so much to learn, I was having a great time. The people that I worked directly with were very surprised, but the director of the program and my boss agreed that I was not inquisitive enough about job duties outside of my own job duties. So therefore, and I said, you know what, they really didn't have to give me a reason. If they wanted somebody else to step into the position, it was during probationary period. So I said, that's fine. You know what, I will go and I will find something else to do. So that's where I am right now. Now, prior to Embry-Riddle in Colorado, I did very many different things. I had my own business. I started when I was younger as a paralegal, actually, in a law firm, and I did in a workers' compensation law firm, and I did that for about 7 years. And then I've always felt like, all right, Lord, where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to do? So if I'm taken out of a role, I go ahead and I follow what he wants me to do. So I've worked at my church in Colorado for about 4 years. When a friend reached out to me and said, this company I'm working for right now needs an office manager, and I've been fulfilling that role, but I can't do that anymore. Can you come in? Well, I went and did that. And that was everything from taking care of all of the personnel, doing everything except for hiring and firing for the personnel, making sure payroll was met, making sure, the accounting was done correctly. I even paid the taxes. I would reach out to our tax accountant and say, okay, this is what I figured out. Is it correct for this month? And he would confirm, because I was like, this is not my area of expertise, but I would do it because they wanted me to do it. So
Absolutely.
I did everything as an office manager there.
Incredible.
And then my last job before I left there was working for Regis University, and that's where I worked in the nursing department, keeping compliance of all of the undergraduate cohorts. Then there were probably about 700 students, to make sure that they were ready to go to all of their clinical placements, so that all their paperwork was in, all of their requirements were filled, all of that kind of thing, making sure that they were all ready to spend their different 6-week sessions at each hospital, probably 8 or 9 different sessions throughout the school year. So
that's incredible. And that was an amazing introduction, Ceely Ann, to your professional experience. So I appreciate all the details in that. From what I was hearing, you've worn a few hats, right? Not just the administrative assistant, which you've been doing for the last 14 years or so, perhaps more, but as I can see in your resume, but you've done, as you mentioned, payroll. You've kind of done like a office manager role as well.
right.
Data analyst as well. So you have a great experience in your background that you can definitely use, and you also have those transferable skills. So I'm excited here. Now, as far as system knowledge at all, what are some systems that you've utilized?
The whole suite for Microsoft. I've done everything. I'm not an expert at Excel, but I certainly know how to use it. I know how to make tables. I know how to do pivot tables. I know that kind of thing. Obviously, everything else, scheduling, Outlook calendar, anything that needs to be done like that. And I'm also, whatever I don't know, if they need something, I am a self-taught learner. So I'll go on YouTube and figure it out. That's why I've been able to do so many things, because I've been able to say, okay, I got to figure this out. They need it done. So let me just figure out how to get it done. And then when I need help with something, I don't have any issue reaching out to somebody to say, okay, will you look this over with me, make sure that I'm doing what you're asking me to do, and then move forward with that. So
absolutely. And I love the YouTube part, because I myself do the same thing when it comes down to having to gain a new skill, or even for cooking sometimes. So I myself utilize that. Now, Ceely Ann, as far as starting date, how soon were you looking to start a new position?
Well, we've had something come up this week. My husband's sister has passed. So we are looking at going back out to Colorado. He's the executor of the will. So we're looking at going back out to Colorado in October. Doesn't mean I couldn't start before then. I'm available to start quickly. So that's not a big deal. But I do need to take, it might be up to a week. I'm not sure. It just depends.
Okay.
And it's probably going to be, let me look at my calendar. It's probably going to be sometime the week of the 20th.
Okay.
Probably that week, the 20th through the 24th is when we'll be out there just sorting through all of her things and making sure all of the legal stuff is done correctly and, you know, that kind of a thing. Just because the executor, and it's the first time we've been doing this, so we need to figure out what we're doing.
Absolutely. No worries at all. I will let my client know that you are looking to take that week off to handle what you need to back at Colorado. So I don't foresee that being an issue at all.
Okay. And then there's one other thing. My husband is scheduled for cancer treatment in December. He's going to have surgery December 16th. So there would be at least a couple days. I have people coming in, so I wouldn't have to lose a lot of time that time if they needed me to, you know, not lose that time. I'm more comfortable there. October, I need to go out with him because we need to do this together. But December, I think I could be covered as long as I get like the 16th and 17th off. I think I would be fine. So.
No worries at all. I'll definitely be sure that we send that to the clients beforehand so that they have that information, and taking those days off won't be an issue for you. So I appreciate letting me know the time that you need off, and I hope all goes well with, you know, your husband and his family. And moving forward. So Ceely Ann, I do want to go ahead and conclude this interview. Again, I wholeheartedly thank you for the time that we spent together this morning. I do just want to keep you on the line here really quickly. I'm going to stop recording so we can chat. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.